Brilliance Audio presents Secrets of the Savanna, 23 Years in the African Wilderness, Unraveling the Mysteries of Elephants and People, by Mark Owens and Delia Owens, performed by Donna Postel and Sean Renette. Between the trees of the forest, amid the thorny undergrowth, under tangles of twisted twigs, is a space that is more color than place. It is a grayness, painted by drooping limbs and distant branches that blur together and fade into nothingness. It is not a shadow, but a pause in the landscape, rarely noticed because our eyes touch the trees, not the emptiness on either side of them. And elephants are the color of this space. As large as they are, elephants can disappear into these secret surroundings, dissolve into the background. When poachers slaughtered the elephants of North Luangwa, the few remaining survivors slipped into the understory. They were seldom seen and almost never heard because they rarely lifted their trunks to trumpet. When we first came to the Luangwa Valley, we could barely grab a glimpse through our binoculars of the elephants' broad gray bottoms and thin tails before they tore into the thick brush and disappeared. As poaching decreased, a hushed peace settled over the valley, like the silence of fog folded among hills at the end of a rain. In 1991, fewer than 10 elephants were shot in North Luangwa, down from 1,000 killed illegally every year for a decade. It was an unexpected, yet natural quiet, as if a waterfall had frozen in mid-song in an ice storm, leaving the land humming with the soft sounds of life. And then, once again, the elephants began to trumpet. Slowly, beginning with Survivor, then Longtail, Cheers, Stumpy, and Turbo, the camp group. A few of the male elephants learned that they were safe near our camp, Marula Puku, which we had built in a large grove of marula trees on a small river, the Lubonga, halfway between the massive mountains of the escarpment and the Luangwa River. The elephants came at all times of the year, not just when the marula fruits were ripe. Sometimes they turned their giant rumps to our thatched roof and scratched their thick hides on the rough grass, closing their eyes in what appeared to be the most blissful glee. Elephants can make a lot of noise while feeding, tearing down branches or pushing over medium-sized trees, or they can feed as silently as kittens, munching on fruits for long moments. One night, as Cheers fed on one side of our cottage and Longtail on the other, both only a few yards from our bed made of reeds, they let forth with full vocalizations. Mark and I, shrouded in our mosquito net, sat up as the sounds shook us. A lion's roar pounds the chest like deep sounds reverberating in a barrel. An elephant's trumpet, especially after decades of being stifled, stills the heart. In the years before they learned to trust us, they must have watched from the hillsides, remembering the fruits of the marula grove, yet afraid to come near. But once they made up their minds that we were harmless, nothing we did seemed to bother them. No matter whether Mark flew the helicopter low over the treetops, or our trucks rumbled in and out, or we cooked popcorn on the open fire, the elephants came to camp. When we stepped out of our cottages, we had to remember to look carefully both ways or we might walk into an elephant's knee. That nearly happened one dark evening when Mark walked quickly out of our open thatched dining nsaka, or gazebo, where we were eating a dinner of spicy beans by candlelight. He was headed toward our bedroom cottage to retrieve the mosquito repellent, and having his mind on other things, played his flashlight beam along the ground, looking for snakes. He heard a loud whoosh and felt a rush of wind. Looking up, he saw an elephant's chin and trunk swishing wildly about against the stars. Cheers stumbled out of Mark's path, twisting and turning to avoid the small primate. Both man and elephant backpedaled 20 yards and stood gazing at each other.